Hi, I'm Kunal from Gemtech. We're a consumer electronics startup, and we operate in the safety wearable space. So, okay. Yeah, these are the results from a recent survey that was conducted by the Thomson Reuters Foundation to identify the most dangerous countries for women to live in. India topped the list, while US made it to top 10 overall and ranked third, along with Syria, with respect to most risk sexual violence. These stories are everywhere. They're happening every day. Rarely they shake our core and make us challenge the status quo. One such incident was the Nirbhaya rape case, when a 23-year-old was brutally beaten, gang raped, and tortured, all while returning from a movie in a moving bus. The idea is women should feel free and safe to go out, go to work, follow their dreams, pursue their passions, irrespective of whatever time of the day it is. Because in a truly developed society, nobody should ever be scared of occupying public spaces at odd hours or feel helpless about the time they were out traveling in a cab or commuting to work and they felt helpless or unsafe and there was nothing they could do about it. So that's where we come in. And as big as a problem as rape is, on the flip side, a bigger issue is underreporting of rape. So Hong Kong Women's Coalition on Equal Opportunities estimates that as much as 90% of sexual assault cases go unreported. So we mapped out the response times for a few countries with respect to times of emergency. Shockingly, the results show that in India, it takes over 2 hours for any kind of support to reach the victim. That's a long 120 minutes of waiting before first contact with any kind of help. Beyond the suffering of victims, families, and communities, sexual violence also has financial costs. Overall, rape is the costliest crime for victims in the United States, with annual costs are amounting to estimated $127 billion, with an average of 110K per victim. Well, these are stories that are more than just numbers. We had to do something about it. We have developed smart SOS wearables. I'm really sorry. Yeah, so we've developed smart SOS wearables in the form of a smartwatch and a smart ring. We basically involve police as first emergency responders and reducing the emergency response time by a factor of 12. So these are the products. So the Night Watch and the ring are worn by the user, while the Guardian Watch is targeted towards the police. So these are the watches. It's a very feature-intensive watch. So our solution basically helps reach the right authorities in the fastest time frame possible. I'm really running slow on time. So the idea is the night ring comes with a trigger button, which when pressed for 3 seconds, initiates a distress call. This location is then sent to our servers. We locate the nearest guardian, which is then set to navigate to the location of the user. So it's basically a Google Maps kind of thing that goes on where we navigate to the user. All right. There's a lot remaining here. Is it okay if I could just continue? So the idea is, in the current process, once the victim initiates a distress call, they'd have to call the police, and the nearest police station would have to be identified. Then the help is dispatched. We cut down on all the steps, and we basically connect the victim who need help to the police who can help, because in times of emergency, every second would count. So that's where we're at. And so the Night Watch, these are the cost models, and the market is estimated to be a $51 billion market by 2022. And if I could just be a little candid here, it is beyond market stats and revenues. We're really here trying to create a real impact and do something for the greater good. So that's us. Help us create a safer society. Gemtech. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Firstly, what I think you're doing is great and helping people.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. My biggest question is why even bother with building the hardware? I mean, that can cost you hundreds of millions of dollars. Why not just make it software for the Apple Watch or any other platform or even mobile phones?
Yeah, so one of our major differentiators is we're completely phone independent, because we believe in times of emergency down in India where you're involved in a fight or flight situation. There's too much hassle involved with taking out a phone and then remembering an emergency number or even pressing an SOS button. The perpetrator in these cases would first off just throw away your phone. And in those cases as well, even if you're able to make a proper call, there's no relaying of exact live coordinates of the victim. So if there is a case where they're abducted as well, there's nothing the emergency services can actually do. And tracking down the victim and making sure the help reaches where it should. So that is why we've come up with a phone-independent solution, which is a hardware solution. So every time you're in trouble, you can use a smart ring to just discreetly trigger that you're in a situation, you need help, and the police would come help you. So that's why we've relied on a hardware solution rather than a software-based solution.
Yeah, I would echo that. I commend you for looking into this area. A
Yes.
couple of questions.
Yes.
How many users have you currently got? One and two. I think in one of the slides you had that the police would have an equivalent device.
Yes.
Have you began conversations? Are they willing to adopt it? Have they got the budgets to be able to adopt it?
Yes. So back in India, we've talked to Maharashtra government, which is a state government. They've accepted to launch us in Mumbai city as our pilot. So yeah, they've placed an order for 10,000 units for the police people to wear. So the idea is it's a two-user ecosystem. The night watch and the ring is for the user, and the police people would have a Guardian watch, which is a fairly solid, sturdy watch. We're pricing it cheaper so that we can sell it to the government, and that would just have that basic Google Maps UI just to navigate to the user's location. So it's like a Uber kind of a request thing that goes on, and they can accept it and then can go head to the victim. So.
Kunal, just explain to me
Yeah.
a little bit about the Guardians. Who
Yes.
are the Guardians? Are they police?
Local
or are they-
governance, yes, police.
Local.
Yeah, because we do not want to rely on the other solutions out there. Rely on friends and families a lot, which are essentially going to relay this information to the police, and then a lot of process goes on where they're trying to identify the nearest police station and all of that. So we decided that to establish a smarter local governance model, this information in times of emergency would directly be relayed to the police. That would come and help.
And have you looked at maybe integrating into a service that would maybe make a phone call to the police as opposed to requiring them to
Yeah.
also have a hardware device?
I understand, of course. So we have multiple things in place. We have a web app as well. So we're hoping to have control centers over at these police stations for them to identify and monitor these calls as well, because we'd have data about what guardians or police members are active and are headed to the scene, all that. So, and the night watch, essentially, it's a very feature-loaded watch. It has calling capabilities as well. So we'd be calling the victim as well in case of false triggers and stuff to identify if there's an actual. Plus, we have a heart rate sensor in the watch and a unique force sensor in the watch strap, which nobody else has done, to identify a strong grip on the hand, so that we can identify if somebody is in a situation of danger or whatever. So,
Great. Thank you very much.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Kunal. Let's put our hands together. Thank you.